Let's start with a review of Georgia real property, estates, and ownership. What is the primary characteristic of a fee simple estate? Is it A, full ownership with no time limit? B, ownership limited to the owner's lifetime? C, ownership with a reversionary interest? Or D, ownership with a condition subsequent? The answer is A, full ownership with no time limit. A fee simple estate is the most complete form of ownership, providing the owner with full control over the property, subject to any restrictions imposed by law. In a joint tenancy, what happens to a deceased owner's interest? Is it A, it passes to the deceased's heirs? B, it transfers to the surviving joint tenants? C, it becomes a tenancy in common? Or D, it is held in trust until probate? The answer is B, it transfers to the surviving joint tenants. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, joint tenancy includes the right of survivorship, which means the deceased's interest automatically transfers to the surviving joint tenants, not to heirs. Emily and John own a property as tenants in common. John wants to sell his share. What is Emily's best course of action if she wants to keep the property? Is it A, prevent John from selling his share? B, force a partition sale of the entire property? C, offer to purchase John's share? Or D, convert the ownership to joint tenancy? The answer is C, offer to purchase John's share. Emily can offer to buy John's share to maintain her interest in the property, as tenants in common can sell their shares independently. Which type of tenancy allows for automatic renewal unless notice is given? Is it A, tenancy at will? B, tenancy for years? C, tenancy by the entirety? Or D, periodic tenancy? The answer is D, periodic tenancy. A periodic tenancy automatically renews for another period unless one party gives notice to terminate. Lisa has a life estate in a property, and her son Mark is the remainder man. What happens to the property when Lisa passes away? Is it A, the property is sold and proceeds are divided? B, the property transfers to Mark? C, the property reverts to the original grantor? Or D, the property becomes part of Lisa's estate? The answer is B, the property transfers to Mark. Upon Lisa's death, the life estate terminates and the property automatically transfers to Mark, the remainderman.
How'd you do on the first 5 questions? Go ahead and subscribe to Birdsy now and turn your progress into exam day confidence. Ready to jump back in? Let's go.
Legal descriptions and land use controls. What is the primary purpose of a legal description in real estate transactions? Is it A, to provide a visual representation of the property? B, to accurately define the boundaries and location of a property? C, to list all improvements made on the property? Or D, to determine the market value of the property? The answer is B, to accurately define the boundaries and location of a property. A legal description precisely identifies a property, ensuring clarity in ownership and boundaries, which is crucial for legal and transactional purposes. Which of the following is not a recognized method of describing real property? Is it A, meets and bounds? B, lot and block? C, government survey? Or D, street address? The answer is D, street address. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The options include terms that sound technical, but only one is not a standard method for legal descriptions. John is selling his property and discovers that the legal description in his deed is incorrect. What should he do to ensure a smooth transaction? Is it A, obtain a new survey to correct the legal description? B, proceed with the sale using the existing deed? C. Ignore the issue as it is not significant. Or D. Request the buyer to accept the current description. The answer is A. Obtain a new survey to correct the legal description. John should correct the legal description through a survey or legal action to avoid future disputes or transaction issues. What is a zoning ordinance? Is it A. a federal law regulating property taxes? B. a state regulation on environmental protection? C. a local law that dictates land use and development? Or D. a guideline for property insurance requirements? The answer is C. a local law that dictates land use and development. Zoning ordinances are local laws that regulate land use and development, ensuring orderly growth and compatibility of land uses. Emily wants to build a guest house on her property, but her local zoning ordinance prohibits it. What is her best course of action? Is it A. ignore the ordinance and build the guest house? B. apply for a variance to seek an exception? C. petition the state government for a zoning change? Or D. sell the property and buy one with suitable zoning? The answer is B. apply for a variance to seek an exception. Emily should apply for a variance, which allows for exceptions to zoning laws under certain conditions.
Have you noticed the code in the bottom corner? The next time you're stumped, take that code to birdsy.ai. You'll get immediate help, complimentary study sessions, and access to hundreds of additional questions. It's the best tool to help you pass with confidence.
Encumbrances, easements, and restrictions. What is an easement appurtenant? Is it A. a right attached to the land benefiting a neighboring property? B. a temporary right to use another's land? C. a right to extract resources from another's land? Or D. a right that can be revoked at any time? The answer is A. a right attached to the land benefiting a neighboring property. An easement appurtenant is a right attached to the land that benefits a neighboring property, allowing the holder to use the land for a specific purpose. Which of the following is true about a restrictive covenant? Is it A. it grants the right to use a neighbor's land? B. it limits the use of the property it applies to? C. it can be easily removed by the property owner? Or D. it is a temporary restriction on property use? The answer is B. it limits the use of the property it applies to. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, restrictive covenants are often confused with easements, but they specifically limit how a property can be used, not granting usage rights. John owns a property with a driveway that crosses his neighbor's land. If the neighbor sells their property, what happens to John's right to use the driveway? Is it A. John loses the right to use the driveway? B. John must renegotiate the easement with the new owner? C. John retains the right to use the driveway? Or D. John can use the driveway only with the new owner's permission? The answer is C. John retains the right to use the driveway. John's right to use the driveway is likely an easement appurtenant, which runs with the land and remains valid even if the neighboring property is sold. What is a lien? Is it A. a right to use another's land for a specific purpose? B. a restriction on how a property can be used? C. a temporary right to occupy a property? Or D. a legal claim on a property as security for a debt? The answer is D. a legal claim on a property as security for a debt. A lien is a legal claim or hold on a property, typically used as security for a debt or obligation. Sarah discovers a utility easement on her property after purchasing it. What is the most likely impact of this easement? Is it A. Sarah can build a structure over the easement? B. The utility company can access her property for maintenance? C. Sarah must pay a fee to the utility company? Or D, the easement can be removed at Sarah's discretion? The answer is B. The utility company can access her property for maintenance. Utility easements allow utility companies to access and maintain infrastructure, which may limit Sarah's use of that portion of her property. Georgia property law and homestead protections. What is the primary purpose of Georgia's homestead exemption? Is it A, to protect homeowners from foreclosure? B, to reduce the taxable value of a primary residence? C, to provide insurance against property damage? Or D, to ensure property is passed to heirs without probate? The answer is B, to reduce the taxable value of a primary residence. The homestead exemption in Georgia primarily aims to reduce the taxable value of a homeowner's primary residence, thereby lowering property taxes. In Georgia, which of the following is true about a life estate? Is it A, the life tenant can sell the property outright? B, the life tenant can pass the property to heirs? C, the life tenant can use the property during their lifetime? Or D, the life tenant can mortgage the property? The answer is C. The life tenant can use the property during their lifetime. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, life estates can be confusing because they involve present and future interests. The life tenant has the right to use the property during their lifetime, but cannot sell the property outright. John owns a property in Georgia and wants to ensure his daughter inherits it without going through probate. What legal instrument should he consider? Is it A, a joint tenancy agreement? B, a life estate? C, a revocable living trust? Or D, a transfer on death deed? The answer is D, a transfer on death deed. A transfer on death deed allows property to pass directly to a beneficiary without probate, which is what John needs. What is the maximum homestead exemption amount available for a primary residence in Georgia? Is it A, $2,000 off the assessed value? B, $5,000 off the assessed value? C, $10,000 off the assessed value? Or D, $15,000 off the assessed value? The answer is A, $2,000 off the assessed value. The maximum homestead exemption for a primary residence in Georgia is $2,000 off the assessed value for state taxes. Georgia License Law and Agency. What is the primary function of the Georgia Real Estate Commission? Is it A, regulate the real estate industry in Georgia? B, set property tax rates? C, provide legal advice to real estate agents? Or D, negotiate real estate contracts? The answer is A, regulate the real estate industry in Georgia. The GREC's primary function is to regulate the real estate industry in Georgia to protect the public interest. Which of the following actions can lead to disciplinary action by the GREC? Is it A, failing to renew a license on time? B, commingling client funds with personal funds? C, advertising a property without the owner's consent? Or D, failing to attend a continuing education course? The answer is B, commingling client funds with personal funds. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The options include actions that might seem minor or unrelated to licensing, but can still result in disciplinary action. A real estate agent in Georgia is found guilty of a felony unrelated to their professional duties. What action can the GREC take? Is it A, no action, as the felony is unrelated to real estate? B, issue a warning to the agent? C, suspend or revoke the agent's license? Or D, require additional continuing education? The answer is C, suspend or revoke the agent's license. The GREC has the authority to suspend or revoke licenses if an agent is found guilty of a felony, regardless of its relation to their professional duties. What is required for an individual to obtain a real estate license in Georgia? Is it A, only pass the state exam? B, have a college degree in real estate? C, submit a letter of recommendation? Or D, complete a pre-license course and pass the state exam? The answer is D, complete a pre-license course and pass the state exam. Applicants must complete a pre-license course, pass the state exam, and meet age and background requirements. During a routine audit, the GREC discovers that an agent has not maintained proper transaction records. What is the likely consequence? Is it A, immediate license revocation? B, fines or disciplinary action? C, mandatory retraining in record keeping? Or D, no action as it is a minor issue? The answer is B, fines or disciplinary action. Failure to maintain proper records can lead to fines or other disciplinary actions by the GREC. Agency relationships and brokerage engagements. What is the primary purpose of a brokerage engagement in Georgia real estate? Is it A, to establish a legal partnership between broker and client? B, to authorize a broker to provide real estate services for a fee? C, to allow a broker to manage the client's property? Or D, to transfer ownership of property to the broker? The answer is B, to authorize a broker to provide real estate services for a fee. A brokerage engagement is a written contract where a client authorizes a broker to provide real estate services for a fee or commission. In Georgia, which of the following is not required for a valid brokerage engagement? Is it A, a written agreement? B, client's signature? C, broker's signature? Or D, a description of services? The answer is C, broker's signature. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the term valid might lead one to think all options are necessary, but only a written agreement and client signature are required. Agent Lisa is representing a buyer in Georgia who wants to make an offer on a property listed by another brokerage. What must Lisa ensure regarding her brokerage engagement? Is it A, the engagement is in writing? B, the engagement includes a termination date? C, the engagement is verbally agreed upon? Or D, the engagement is notarized? The answer is A, the engagement is in writing. Lisa must ensure that her brokerage engagement with the buyer is in writing to comply with Georgia law. What is dual agency in the context of Georgia real estate? Is it A, when a broker represents two buyers for the same property? B, when a broker represents two sellers in different transactions? C, when two brokers work together on a single transaction? Or D, when a broker represents both buyer and seller in the same transaction? The answer is D, when a broker represents both buyer and seller in the same transaction. Dual agency occurs when a broker represents both the buyer and the seller in the same transaction with informed consent from both parties. Broker John is negotiating a listing agreement with a seller in Georgia. What must he disclose to the seller regarding agency relationships? Is it A, only the commission rate? B, the marketing plan for the property? C, the types of agency relationships available? Or D, the broker's personal investment in the property? The answer is C, the types of agency relationships available. John must disclose the types of agency relationships available, including the possibility of dual agency, to ensure informed consent. Fiduciary duties, brokerage responsibilities, and disclosure rules. What is the primary fiduciary duty of a real estate agent to their client under Georgia law? Is it A, disclosure? B, loyalty? C, confidentiality? Or D, accounting? The answer is B, loyalty. The primary fiduciary duty of a real estate agent is loyalty, which means putting the client's interests above all else, including the agent's own interests. Under Georgia law, when must a real estate agent disclose their agency relationship to a prospective buyer? Is it A, at the closing of the transaction, B, after the buyer signs a purchase agreement, C, at the first substantive contact, or D, when the buyer requests it? The answer is C, at the first substantive contact. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The timing of disclosure is crucial. It must occur at the first substantive contact, which is often misunderstood as being later in the process. A seller's agent in Georgia learns confidential information about the buyer's financial situation. What should the agent do with this information? Is it A, keep the information confidential, B, disclose the information to the seller, C, use the information to negotiate a better deal, or D, report the information to the brokerage? The answer is A, keep the information confidential. The agent must maintain confidentiality and not disclose the buyer's financial situation, as it is not relevant to the seller's interests. Which of the following is not a fiduciary duty owed by a real estate agent to their client? Is it A, obedience, B, loyalty, C, disclosure, or D, marketing? The answer is D, marketing. Obedience, loyalty, and disclosure are all fiduciary duties. Marketing is a service provided, but not a fiduciary duty. During a property showing, a buyer asks the agent if the neighborhood is safe. How should the agent respond according to Georgia disclosure rules? Is it A, assure the buyer that the neighborhood is safe, B, refer the buyer to local crime statistics, C, state that they cannot comment on safety, or D, discuss personal experiences in the neighborhood? The answer is B, refer the buyer to local crime statistics. The agent should refer the buyer to objective sources for crime statistics, as personal opinions could be misleading or violate fair housing laws.
If you want more than just rapid-fire questions, head over to Birdsy.ai. You can take unlimited practice exams and get instant help from your personal AI study partner. It's like having a tutor 24/7. Try it free. You'll find a link in the description.
Broker supervision, trust accounts, and advertising rules. What is the primary purpose of a trust account in Georgia real estate practice? Is it A, to hold client funds separately from personal funds, B, to invest client funds for profit, C, to pay for brokerage operational expenses, or D, to provide loans to clients? The answer is A, to hold client funds separately from personal funds. Trust accounts are used to hold funds on behalf of clients or third parties, ensuring that these funds are not commingled with the broker's personal or business funds. Under Georgia law, who is responsible for ensuring that all advertising complies with state regulations? Is it A, the individual agent, B, C, the Georgia Real Estate Commission, or D, the client? The answer is B, the broker. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. While agents create advertisements, the broker is ultimately responsible for ensuring compliance with state regulations. A broker in Georgia discovers that an agent has been depositing client funds into a personal account. What is the broker's first step according to Georgia law? Is it A, report the agent to the Georgia Real Estate Commission, B, terminate the agent's employment, C, transfer the funds to a trust account, or D, notify the client of the error? The answer is C, transfer the funds to a trust account. the broker must immediately transfer the funds to a trust account to rectify the violation and ensure compliance with Georgia law. What must be included in all real estate advertising in Georgia? Is it A, the agent's personal contact information, B, the property listing price, C, the agent's license number, or D, a name of the brokerage firm? The answer is D, the name of the brokerage firm. All real estate advertising must include the name of the brokerage firm to ensure transparency and accountability. An agent in Georgia receives a cash deposit from a client for a property purchase. What should the agent do with the cash according to Georgia law? Is it A, keep the cash in a personal safe until closing, B, deposit the cash into the brokerage's trust account, C, use the cash to pay for immediate property expenses, or D, return the cash to the client and request a check? The answer is B, deposit the cash into the brokerage's trust account. The agent must deposit the cash into the brokerage's trust account to comply with regulations on handling client funds. Contracts. Which of the following is a necessary element for a contract to be considered valid? Is it A, a written document, B, mutual consent, C, a witness, or D, a notary public? The answer is B, mutual consent. A valid contract requires mutual consent, lawful object, consideration, and competent parties. Without any of these, the contract may be void or voidable. A contract is considered void if it lacks which of the following elements? Is it A, consideration, B, mutual consent, C, lawful object, or D, competent parties? The answer is C, lawful object. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. A void contract is one that is not legally enforceable from the start, often due to illegality or lack of essential elements like lawful object. John signs a contract to sell his car to Mary, but later discovers the car is stolen property. What is the status of this contract? Is it A, void, B, voidable, C, valid, or D, unenforceable? The answer is A, void. A contract involving illegal activities, such as selling stolen property, is void because it lacks a lawful object. What classification of contract is created when one party makes a promise in exchange for an act by another party? Is it A, bilateral, B, executed, C, executory, or D, unilateral? The answer is D, unilateral. A unilateral contract involves one party making a promise in exchange for an act by the other party. Sarah agrees to buy a house from Tom, but the contract lacks a specified closing date. What is the likely classification of this contract? Is it A, void, B, unenforceable, C, voidable, or D, valid? The answer is B, unenforceable. Without a specified closing date, the contract is likely unenforceable due to the lack of a definite term. Listing agreements and buyer representation agreements. What is the primary purpose of a listing agreement in real estate transactions? Is it A, to transfer ownership of the property, B, to authorize an agent to market and sell the property, C, to determine the property's market value, or D, to finalize the sale price of the property? The answer is B, to authorize an agent to market and sell the property. A listing agreement primarily authorizes a real estate agent to act on behalf of the seller to market and sell the property. It outlines the terms and conditions under which the agent will operate. In a buyer representation agreement, who is the client? Is it A, the buyer, B, the seller, C, the real estate agent, or D, the lender? The answer is A, the buyer. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term client can be confused with customer. In a buyer representation agreement, the buyer is the client, as they are represented by the agent. If a seller enters into an exclusive right-to-sell listing agreement, what happens if the seller finds a buyer independently? Is it A, the seller does not owe a commission to the agent? B, the agreement is automatically terminated? C, the agent still earns a commission? Or D, the seller can negotiate a reduced commission? The answer is C, the agent still earns a commission. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The exclusivity of the agreement means the agent earns a commission regardless of who finds the buyer, which might be overlooked. Sarah, a real estate agent, has a buyer representation agreement with Tom. Tom decides to purchase a property he found on his own. What is Sarah's role in this transaction? Is it A, Sarah has no role since Tom found the property himself? B, Sarah assists Tom with the purchase process? C, Sarah must terminate the agreement with Tom? Or D, Sarah can charge Tom an additional fee? The answer is B, Sarah assists Tom with the purchase process. Sarah's role is to assist Tom with the purchase process, as she is still his representative under the buyer representation agreement. John signs an open listing agreement with multiple agents. What is the implication if one of the agents finds a buyer? Is it A, all agents share the commission equally? B, John must pay a commission to all agents? C, the listing agreement is terminated with all agents? Or D, only the agent who finds the buyer earns a commission? The answer is D, only the agent who finds the buyer earns a commission. In an open listing, only the agent who successfully finds a buyer earns a commission, encouraging competition among agents. Georgia RE forms, offers, counteroffers, and addenda. What is the primary purpose of a counteroffer in a real estate transaction? Is it A, to accept the original offer with conditions? B, to reject the original offer and propose new terms? C, to finalize the terms of the contract? Or D, to confirm the buyer's interest in the property? The answer is B, to reject the original offer and propose new terms. A counteroffer is used to reject the original offer and propose new terms, effectively continuing the negotiation process. In Georgia, when does an offer become a legally binding contract? Is it A, when the offer is signed by the buyer? B, when the offer is received by the seller? C, when the acceptance is communicated back to the offeror? Or D, when the offer is drafted by the real estate agent? The answer is C, when the acceptance is communicated back to the offeror. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The key is understanding that an offer becomes a contract only when it is accepted and communicated back to the offerer. Sarah submits an offer on a house, and the seller responds with a counteroffer. What must Sarah do for the counteroffer to become a binding contract? Is it A, accept the counteroffer and communicate acceptance to the seller? B, sign the counteroffer and wait for the seller to acknowledge? C, discuss the counteroffer with her agent? Or D, make another counteroffer? The answer is A, accept the counteroffer and communicate acceptance to the seller. Sarah must accept the counteroffer and communicate her acceptance back to the seller for it to become binding. What is an addendum in the context of real estate contracts? Is it A, a document that cancels the contract? B, a summary of the contract terms? C, a list of property defects? Or D, a document that modifies or adds to the contract? The answer is D, a document that modifies or adds to the contract. An addendum is a document that modifies or adds to the terms of an existing contract. John, a buyer, receives a counteroffer from a seller but wants to change the closing date. What should John do to propose this change? Is it A, accept the counteroffer and verbally request a new closing date? B, submit a new counteroffer with the desired closing date? C, sign the counteroffer and send a separate letter with the new date? Or D, reject the counteroffer and wait for the seller to propose a new date? The answer is B, submit a new counteroffer with the desired closing date. John should make a new counteroffer specifying the desired closing date to continue negotiations. Contract performance, breach, and remedies. What is the primary remedy for a breach of contract in real estate transactions? Is it A, monetary damages, B, specific performance, C, rescission, or D, injunction? The answer is A, monetary damages. The primary remedy for a breach of contract in real estate is typically monetary damages, which compensate the non-breaching party for losses incurred due to the breach. In a contract dispute, which party is typically responsible for proving that a breach occurred? Is it A, the breaching party, B, the non-breaching party, C, the court, or D, both parties equally? The answer is B, the non-breaching party. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, it might seem that the breaching party must prove their innocence, but it's actually the non-breaching party's responsibility to prove the breach. John signed a contract to sell his house to Mary, but later decided not to sell. Mary wants the court to enforce the sale. What remedy is Mary seeking? Is it A, monetary damages, B, rescission, C, specific performance, or D, injunction? The answer is C, specific performance. Mary is seeking specific performance, a remedy where the court orders the breaching party to fulfill their contractual obligations, such as completing a sale. Lisa contracted with a builder to renovate her kitchen by June 1st. The builder completed the work on June 15th. What type of breach has occurred? Is it A, material breach, B, anticipatory breach, C, fundamental breach, or D, minor breach? The answer is D, minor breach. This is a minor breach, also known as a partial breach, because the work was completed late but still fulfilled the contract's main purpose. Financing. What is the primary purpose of a loan underwriter in the mortgage process? Is it A, to sell mortgage products to potential borrowers, B, to evaluate the borrower's financial information and assess risk, C, to manage the closing process of a mortgage loan, or D, to provide legal advice regarding loan agreements? The answer is B, to evaluate the borrower's financial information and assess risk. The primary role of a loan underwriter is to assess the risk of lending money to a borrower by evaluating their financial information and determining their ability to repay the loan. Which type of loan typically requires private mortgage insurance when the down payment is less than 20%? Is it A, conventional loan, B, FHA loan, C, VA loan, or D, USDA loan? The answer is A, conventional loan. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, PMI is specifically associated with conventional loans, not government-backed loans like FHA or VA loans, which have different insurance requirements. John is considering a loan with a fixed interest rate for the first 5 years, which then adjusts annually. What type of loan is this? Is it A, fixed-rate mortgage, B, balloon mortgage, C, adjustable rate mortgage, or D, interest-only mortgage? The answer is C, adjustable rate mortgage. This scenario describes an adjustable rate mortgage, which typically starts with a fixed rate for a set period before adjusting annually. What is a key characteristic of a jumbo loan? Is it A, they have lower interest rates than conforming loans? B, they are insured by the Federal Housing Administration? C, they require no down payment? Or D, they exceed conforming loan limits? The answer is D, they exceed conforming loan limits. Jumbo loans exceed the conforming loan limits set by the Federal Housing Finance Agency and are not eligible for purchase by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. Sarah is buying a home and wants a loan that allows her to pay only the interest for the first few years. What type of loan should she consider? Is it A, fixed-rate mortgage? B, adjustable-rate mortgage? C, balloon mortgage? Or D, interest-only mortgage? The answer is D, interest-only mortgage. Sarah should consider an interest-only mortgage, which allows her to pay only the interest for a specified initial period. Federal Mortgage Regulations, TILA, RESPA, ECOA, CFPB. What is the primary purpose of the Truth in Lending Act? Is it A, to ensure consumers are informed about the cost of credit? B, to regulate interest rates on mortgages? C, to provide insurance for mortgage lenders? Or D, to enforce fair housing practices? The answer is A, to ensure consumers are informed about the cost of credit. The Truth in Lending Act is designed to promote informed use of consumer credit by requiring disclosures about its terms and cost. Under the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, which of the following is prohibited? Is it A, charging a fee for a credit report? B, receiving kickbacks for referrals? C, providing a list of service providers? Or D, offering discounts on closing costs? The answer is B, receiving kickbacks for referrals. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, RESPA prohibits kickbacks and referral fees, which can be confused with other financial practices. John is applying for a mortgage and is concerned about discrimination. Which regulation ensures he is treated fairly, regardless of race or gender? Is it A, Truth in Lending Act? B, Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act? C, Equal Credit Opportunity Act? Or D, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau? The answer is C, Equal Credit Opportunity Act. The Equal Credit Opportunity Act ensures that all consumers are given an equal chance to obtain credit without discrimination. Which entity is responsible for enforcing the regulations of the Truth in Lending Act? Is it A, Federal Reserve? B, Department of Housing and Urban Development? C, Federal Trade Commission? Or D, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau? The answer is D, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is responsible for enforcing TILA regulations. Lisa received a loan estimate from her lender. How many days does she have to receive the closing disclosure before closing? Is it A, 5 business days? B, 3 business days? C, 7 calendar days? Or D, 1 week? The answer is B, 3 business days. Under TILA RESPA integrated disclosure rules, the closing disclosure must be provided at least 3 business days before closing. Georgia Mortgage Law, Foreclosure and Security Deeds. What is the primary purpose of a security deed in Georgia mortgage law? Is it A, to provide insurance for the property? B, to secure the lender's interest in the property? C, to transfer ownership permanently to the lender? Or D, to establish a lease agreement? The answer is B, to secure the lender's interest in the property. A security deed in Georgia transfers the title of the property to the lender as security for the loan, ensuring the lender's interest is protected until the debt is paid. In Georgia, which document is typically used to initiate foreclosure proceedings? Is it A, security deed, B, promissory note, C, warranty deed, or D, lease agreement? The answer is A, security deed. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term security deed might be confused with other documents, like a mortgage or promissory note, but it is the security deed that allows foreclosure. John has defaulted on his mortgage payments, and the lender is initiating foreclosure. What document will the lender primarily rely on in Georgia? Is it A, lease agreement, B, promissory note, C, security deed, or D, warranty deed? The answer is C, security deed. The lender will rely on the security deed, which allows them to foreclose on the property if the borrower defaults. What is the statutory redemption period in Georgia after a foreclosure sale? Is it A, 30 days, B, 60 days, C, 90 days, or D, no redemption period? The answer is D, no redemption period. Georgia does not have a statutory redemption period after a foreclosure sale, meaning the borrower cannot reclaim the property after the sale. Emily is purchasing a home in Georgia and wants to ensure the lender's interest is secured. Which document should she expect to sign? Is it A, lease agreement, B, security deed, C, warranty deed, or D, promissory note? The answer is B, security deed. Emily should expect to sign a security deed, which secures the lender's interest in the property. Financing calculations and borrower qualification. What is the formula to calculate the monthly mortgage payment on a fixed-rate loan? Is it A, M is equal to P, R raised to the power of N divided by R raised to the power of N minus 1? B, M equals P plus R times N. C, M equals P N plus R. Or D, M equals P times R times N. The answer is A, M equals P R times 1 plus R to the power of N divided by 1 plus R to the power of N. The formula for calculating the monthly mortgage payment on a fixed-rate loan is M equals P times R to the raised to the N over the 1 plus R to the N minus 1, where M is the total monthly mortgage payment, P is the principal loan amount, R is the monthly interest rate, and N is the number of payments. If a borrower has a debt-to-income ratio of 45%, what is the maximum percentage of their income that can be used for housing expenses? Is it A, 45%, B, 28%, C, 36%, or D, 50%? The answer is B, 28%. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The total debt-to-income ratio includes all debts, not just housing. Typically, lenders prefer a housing expense ratio of 28% or less, even if the total DTI is higher. John is applying for a mortgage and his lender requires a minimum credit score of 620, but his score is 615. What should John do to improve his chances of qualification? Is it A, apply for a loan with a higher interest rate, B, increase his down payment, C, seek a cosigner with a higher credit score, or D, work on improving his credit score? The answer is D, work on improving his credit score. John should focus on improving his credit score by paying down existing debts, making timely payments, and avoiding new credit inquiries to increase his score above the required minimum. Sarah has a stable job and is considering a 30-year fixed mortgage with a 4% interest rate. What should she calculate to determine her affordability? Is it A, her total loan amount, B, her annual income, C. Her monthly mortgage payment? Or D. Her credit score? The answer is C. Her monthly mortgage payment. Sarah should calculate her monthly mortgage payment using the loan amount, interest rate, and loan term to ensure it fits within her budget and debt-to-income ratio. Transfer of property. What is the primary purpose of recording a deed in the public records? Is it A. to provide public notice of ownership? B. to transfer title immediately? C. to calculate property taxes? Or D. to verify the property's market value? The answer is A. to provide public notice of ownership. Recording a deed provides public notice of ownership and protects the owner's interest against third parties. Which type of deed provides the greatest protection to the grantee? Is it A. quitclaim deed? B. general warranty deed? C. special warranty deed? Or D. bargain and sale deed? The answer is B. general warranty deed. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the term greatest protection can be confused with most common, leading to incorrect assumptions. John sells his property to Mary, but the deed is not recorded. Later, John sells the same property to Paul, who records the deed. Who has the legal title? Is it A. Mary because she purchased first? B. John because he sold the property twice? C. Paul because he recorded the deed? Or D. neither because the sale was invalid? The answer is C. Paul because he recorded the deed. Recording establishes priority. Since Paul recorded the deed, he has legal title despite the prior sale to Mary. What is a key characteristic of a quitclaim deed? Is it A. it guarantees clear title? B. it includes a covenant of season? C. it provides a warranty against encumbrances? Or D. it transfers any interest the grantor may have? The answer is D. It transfers any interest the grantor may have. A quitclaim deed transfers any interest the grantor may have without warranties. Lisa receives a property as a gift from her uncle, who uses a quitclaim deed. Later, a third party claims ownership. What is Lisa's best course of action? Is it A. ignore the claim as the deed is valid? B. conduct a title search to verify ownership? C. file a lawsuit against her uncle? Or D. request a warranty deed from her uncle? The answer is B. conduct a title search to verify ownership. Lisa should verify the title through a title search, as a quitclaim deed offers no protection against claims. Closing procedures, escrow, and settlement statements. What is the primary purpose of an escrow account in a real estate transaction? Is it A. to provide a loan to the buyer? B. to hold funds and documents until conditions are met? C. to determine property taxes? Or D. to appraise the property value? The answer is B. to hold funds and documents until conditions are met. An escrow account is primarily used to hold funds and documents until all conditions of a real estate transaction are met, ensuring both parties fulfill their obligations. In a closing statement, which party is typically responsible for paying the title insurance premium? Is it A. the seller? B. the lender? C. the buyer? Or D. the real estate agent? The answer is C. the buyer. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the responsibility for paying the title insurance premium can vary by agreement and local custom, but it is commonly the buyer's responsibility. During a property closing, Jane discovers an unpaid lien on the property. What should she do to ensure a clear title? Is it A. request the lien be paid from the seller's proceeds? B. ignore the lien as it will be resolved automatically? C. Proceed with closing and address the lien later. Or D. Ask the escrow agent to handle it post-closing. The answer is A. Request the lien be paid from the seller's proceeds. Jane should request that the lien be paid off from the seller's proceeds to ensure she receives a clear title. What document is used to transfer ownership of real property from one party to another? Is it A. Deed, B. Lease, C. Mortgage, or D. Title insurance? The answer is A. Deed. A deed is the legal document used to transfer ownership of real property from one party to another. Tom is selling his house and the closing date is approaching. He realizes he hasn't paid the property taxes for the year. What should be done at closing? Is it A. Ignore the taxes as they will be the buyer's responsibility? B. Pay the taxes after closing? C. Ask the buyer to pay the taxes? Or D. Deduct the taxes from his proceeds at closing? The answer is D. Deduct the taxes from his proceeds at closing. Tom should have the unpaid property taxes deducted from his proceeds at closing to ensure the buyer receives the property free of tax liens.
Did you get a different answer? Or maybe you have a question about the exam in general? Drop it in the comments below. We read and answer them personally.
Title, insurance, abstracts, and Georgia recording system. What is the primary purpose of title insurance in real estate transactions? Is it A. To protect against title defects and claims? B. To guarantee property value appreciation? C. To insure against natural disasters? Or D. To provide legal advice on property disputes? The answer is A. To protect against title defects and claims. Title insurance protects the buyer and lender from potential losses due to defects in the title, such as liens or encumbrances that were not discovered during the title search. In Georgia, which document is typically recorded to provide public notice of a property transfer? Is it A. Title, B. Deed, C. Mortgage, or D. Abstract? The answer is B. Deed. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the term deed can be confused with other documents like title or mortgage, but only the deed is recorded to show ownership transfer. Sarah is buying a house in Georgia and wants to ensure there are no undisclosed liens on the property. What should she obtain to protect herself? Is it A. A property appraisal, B. A home inspection, C. Title insurance, or D. A survey? The answer is C. Title insurance. Sarah should obtain title insurance, which protects against undisclosed liens or defects in the title that might not be found during a title search. John is selling his property and discovers an old lien that was never cleared. What document should he provide to resolve this issue before closing? Is it A. A new deed, B. A title abstract, C. A quitclaim deed, or D. A release of lien? The answer is D. A release of lien. John should provide a release of lien document, which officially clears the lien from the property's title, ensuring a clean transfer. Georgia property taxes and transfer taxes. What is the primary purpose of property taxes in Georgia? Is it A. To fund local government services, B. To support federal government programs, C. To finance state infrastructure projects, or D. To subsidize private real estate developments? The answer is A. To fund local government services. Property taxes in Georgia primarily fund local services such as schools, roads, and emergency services. This is a common use of property taxes across the United States. In Georgia, which party is typically responsible for paying the transfer tax during a property sale? Is it A, the buyer, B, the seller, C, the real estate agent, or D, the lender? The answer is B, the seller. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. While the seller is typically responsible for the transfer tax, the parties can negotiate who pays it. The default assumption is the seller, but this can vary. John is selling his house in Georgia and has agreed to pay the transfer tax. What is the transfer tax rate he should expect to pay? Is it A, 50 cents per $1,000 of property value, B, $2 per $1,000 of property value, C, $1 per $1,000 of property value plus 10 cents for each additional 100, or D, $5 per $1,000 of property value? The answer is C, $1 per $1,000 of property value plus 10 cents for each additional $100. In Georgia, the transfer tax rate is $1 for the first $1,000 of the property value and 10 cents for each additional $100. This is a standard rate applied to property sales. Which of the following is exempt from property taxes in Georgia? Is it A, residential homes, B, commercial properties, C, vacant land, or D, government-owned properties? The answer is D, government-owned properties. Government-owned properties are typically exempt from property taxes as they are used for public purposes. Valuation and appraisal. What is the primary purpose of an appraisal in real estate? Is it A, to estimate the market value of a property, B, to determine the property's tax liability, C, to establish the property's insurance value, or D, to calculate the property's depreciation? The answer is A, to estimate the market value of a property. An appraisal's primary purpose is to estimate the market value of a property, which helps in making informed decisions in buying, selling, or financing real estate. Which factor is least likely to directly affect the market value of a property? Is it A, location, B, condition of the property, C, historical significance, or D, market trends? The answer is C, historical significance. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. While all factors can influence value, the property's historical significance is less direct unless it affects desirability or legal status. A homeowner is considering selling their property and wants to set a competitive price. What should they primarily rely on to determine this price? Is it A, the original purchase price, B, a comparative market analysis, C, the cost of improvements made, or D, the assessed tax value? The answer is B, a comparative market analysis. A comparative market analysis provides a detailed look at similar properties, helping set a competitive price based on current market conditions. What does the principle of substitution state in real estate appraisal? Is it A, a property's value is determined by its highest and best use, B, a property's value is based on its future income potential, C, a property's value is determined by its replacement cost, or D, a property's value is influenced by the cost of acquiring a similar property? The answer is D, a property's value is influenced by the cost of acquiring a similar property. The principle of substitution states that a property's value is influenced by the cost of acquiring an equally desirable substitute property. During a property appraisal, the appraiser notes that the neighborhood has recently seen an influx of new businesses. How might this affect the property's market value? Is it A, increase the property's market value, B, decrease the property's market value, C, have no effect on the property's market value, or D, only affect the property's assessed tax value? The answer is A, increase the property's market value. An influx of new businesses can increase demand for nearby properties, potentially raising market values due to improved economic prospects. Approaches to value, market, cost, and income. What is the primary method used to determine the value of a property based on recent sales of similar properties? Is it A, market approach, B, cost approach, C, income approach, or D, residual approach? The answer is A, market approach. The market approach, also known as the sales comparison approach, uses recent sales of similar properties to estimate the value of a property. Which approach to value would be most appropriate for a new construction project? Is it A, market approach, B, cost approach, C, income approach, or D, sales approach? The answer is B, cost approach. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The cost approach is often used for new constructions because it considers the cost to build the property, which can be more relevant than market or income data. A real estate investor is evaluating a rental property that generates $50,000 annually in net income. Which valuation approach should they use? Is it A, market approach, B, cost approach, C, income approach, or D, replacement approach? The answer is C, income approach. The income approach is best for properties that generate income, as it focuses on the property's ability to produce future income. What does the cost approach to property valuation primarily consider? Is it A, market trends, B, income potential, C, comparable sales, or D, replacement cost? The answer is D, replacement cost. The cost approach considers the cost to replace or reproduce the property, including land value and depreciation. A homeowner is trying to sell their house in a neighborhood where similar homes have recently sold for $300,000. Which valuation approach should they consider? Is it A, market approach, B, cost approach, C, income approach, or D, depreciation approach? The answer is A, market approach. The market approach is suitable here as it uses recent sales of similar properties to estimate the home's value. CMA and broker price opinions. What is the primary purpose of a comparative market analysis in real estate? Is it A, to estimate the value of a property by comparing it to similar properties, B, to determine the exact selling price of a property, C, to assess the condition of a property, or D, to calculate the potential rental income of a property? The answer is A, to estimate the value of a property by comparing it to similar properties. A CMA is used to estimate the value of a property by comparing it to similar properties that have recently sold in the area. Why might a broker price opinion be preferred over a full appraisal in certain situations? Is it A, because it provides a more detailed analysis than an appraisal, B, because it is quicker and less expensive than a full appraisal, C, because it is legally required for all property sales, or D, because it guarantees the property's market value? The answer is B, because it is quicker and less expensive than a full appraisal. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. A BPO is often quicker and less expensive than a full appraisal, making it suitable for situations where a full appraisal is not necessary. A real estate agent is preparing a CMA for a client who wants to sell their home. The agent includes properties that sold over a year ago. What is the potential issue with this approach? Is it A, it ensures a more comprehensive analysis, B, it reflects the most stable market trends, C, it may lead to inaccurate market value estimates, or D, it provides a broader range of comparable properties? The answer is C, it may lead to inaccurate market value estimates. Including outdated sales data can lead to inaccurate market value estimates, as market conditions may have changed significantly. In a declining market, why might a CMA result in a lower estimated value than expected? Is it A, because it uses outdated sales data? B, because it includes properties from different neighborhoods? C, because it does not account for market trends? Or D, because recent sales prices are lower due to market decline? The answer is D, because recent sales prices are lower due to market decline. Why this question may seem a bit tricky: a CMA reflects current market conditions, so in a declining market, recent sales prices are likely lower, affecting the estimated value. A homeowner receives a BPO that suggests a lower value than expected. What might be a reason for this discrepancy? Is it A, the BPO includes only luxury properties as comparables? B, the BPO is based on limited data and broker's subjective judgment? C, the BPO was conducted by a certified appraiser? Or D, the BPO used comparables from a different city? The answer is B. The BPO is based on limited data and broker's subjective judgment. BPOs are often based on limited data and can vary depending on the broker's experience and the comparables used.
If you want more than just rapid-fire questions, head over to Birdsy.ai. You can take unlimited practice exams and get instant help from your personal AI study partner. It's like having a tutor 24/7. Try it free. You'll find a link in the description.
USPAP foundations and Georgia appraisal requirements. What is the primary purpose of the Uniform Standards of Professional Appraisal Practice? Is it A, to regulate real estate transactions? B, to provide ethical and performance standards for appraisers? C, to determine property tax rates? Or D, to license appraisers? The answer is B, to provide ethical and performance standards for appraisers. USPAP establishes standards for professional appraisal practice, ensuring consistency, credibility, and ethical behavior in the appraisal process. In Georgia, which entity is responsible for enforcing USPAP compliance among appraisers? Is it A, the Appraisal Foundation? B, local real estate boards? C, the Georgia Real Estate Appraisers Board? Or D, the National Association of Realtors? The answer is C, the Georgia Real Estate Appraisers Board. Why this question may seem a bit tricky: the Georgia Real Estate Appraisers Board enforces USPAP, not the National Appraisal Foundation or local real estate boards. An appraiser in Georgia is asked to appraise a property for a mortgage lender, but is also offered a bonus if the appraisal meets a certain value. What should the appraiser do to comply with USPAP? Is it A, refuse the bonus to maintain objectivity? B, accept the bonus if disclosed to the lender? C, accept the bonus if it does not affect the appraisal? Or D, negotiate a higher fee instead of a bonus? The answer is A, refuse the bonus to maintain objectivity. The appraiser must refuse the bonus to avoid a conflict of interest and maintain objectivity and integrity as required by USPAP. During an appraisal in Georgia, an appraiser discovers a significant discrepancy in the property's square footage compared to public records. What is the appraiser's responsibility under USPAP? Is it A, ignore the discrepancy if it is minor? B, report the discrepancy to the property owner only? C, use the public records data to avoid liability? Or D, verify and report the accurate square footage in the appraisal? The answer is D, verify and report the accurate square footage in the appraisal. The appraiser must verify the discrepancy and report the accurate square footage in the appraisal report, ensuring transparency and accuracy. real estate practice, and disclosures. What is required under Georgia law when disclosing latent defects in a property? Is it A, only defects that affect the property's value? B, all known latent defects? C, defects discovered during the inspection? Or D, only defects that are visible? The answer is B, all known latent defects. Sellers must disclose known latent defects that are not easily discoverable by a buyer. This ensures transparency and protects buyers from unforeseen issues. In Georgia, who is responsible for disclosing the presence of lead-based paint in a property built before 1978? Is it A, the seller, B, the buyer, C, the real estate agent, or D, the home inspector? The answer is A, the seller. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The responsibility lies with the seller, not the agent, although agents must ensure compliance. This distinction can be confusing. A seller in Georgia knows about a significant plumbing issue that is not visible during a standard inspection. What must the seller do before listing the property? Is it A, fix the plumbing issue before listing? B, ignore the issue since it's not visible? C, disclose the plumbing issue to potential buyers? Or D, wait for the buyer to discover it during inspection? The answer is C, disclose the plumbing issue to potential buyers. The seller must disclose the known latent defect to potential buyers to ensure transparency and avoid legal issues. What must a real estate agent in Georgia disclose regarding agency relationships? Is it A, only to the buyer, B, only to the seller, C, only if asked by a party, or D, to all parties involved in the transaction? The answer is D, to all parties involved in the transaction. Agents must disclose their agency relationships to all parties involved in a transaction to ensure transparency and avoid conflicts of interest. During a property showing in Georgia, a buyer asks the agent about potential lead-based paint hazards. What should the agent do? Is it A, assure the buyer there are no hazards? B, provide the lead-based paint disclosure form? C, refer the buyer to a home inspector? Or D, ignore the question as it's not the agent's responsibility? The answer is B, provide the lead-based paint disclosure form. The agent should provide the lead-based paint disclosure form if the property was built before 1978, ensuring compliance with federal and state regulations. Fair housing, ethics, and consumer protection laws. What is the primary purpose of the Fair Housing Act? Is it A, to regulate real estate commissions? B, to prevent discrimination in housing? C, to ensure all homes meet safety standards? Or D, to control housing prices? The answer is B, to prevent discrimination in housing. The Fair Housing Act aims to eliminate discrimination in housing based on race, color, national origin, religion, sex, familial status, or disability. Which of the following is not a protected class under the Fair Housing Act? Is it A, race, B, disability, C, age, or D, religion? The answer is C, age. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The Fair Housing Act protects against discrimination based on race, color, national origin, religion, sex, familial status, and disability, but not age. A real estate agent shows a couple homes only in neighborhoods with predominantly their own ethnicity, assuming they would prefer it. What fair housing principle is being violated? Is it A, steering, B, blockbusting, C, redlining, or D, disparate impact? The answer is A, steering. This scenario describes steering, which is guiding buyers towards or away from certain neighborhoods based on race or ethnicity? Which law requires real estate professionals to provide a lead-based paint disclosure for homes built before 1978? Is it A, Fair Housing Act, B, Truth in Lending Act, C, Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, or D, Residential Lead-Based Paint Hazard Reduction Act? The answer is D, Residential Lead-Based Paint Hazard Reduction Act. The Residential Lead-Based Paint Hazard Reduction Act requires disclosures about lead-based paint in homes built before 1978. An agent refuses to show a property to a family with children because the property is in a retirement community. Is this permissible under fair housing laws? Is it A, no, it is never permissible, B, yes, if the agent believes the property is unsuitable, C, no, unless the family agrees, or D, yes, if the community qualifies as housing for older persons? The answer is D, yes, if the community qualifies as housing for older persons. This is permissible if the retirement community qualifies as housing for older persons, which is exempt from familial status discrimination under the Fair Housing Act. Trust funds, accounting, record-keeping, and GREC compliance. What is the primary purpose of a trust account in real estate? Is it A, to earn interest for the broker, B, to hold client funds separately from personal funds, C, to provide loans to clients, or D, to pay for office expenses? The answer is B, to hold client funds separately from personal funds. Trust accounts are used to hold funds on behalf of clients, ensuring that these funds are not commingled with the broker's personal or business funds. Which of the following is not required when maintaining a trust account? Is it A, regular reconciliation of the account, B, detailed record keeping of all transactions, C, using the account for personal expenses, or D, maintaining a separate account for each client? The answer is C, using the account for personal expenses. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. It tests knowledge of what is not required, which can be confusing if one assumes all listed items are necessary. A real estate broker receives a deposit from a client for a property purchase. What should the broker do with the deposit according to GREC compliance? Is it A, deposit it into a trust account, B, use it to pay for marketing expenses, C, hold it in a personal savings account, or D, return it to the client immediately? The answer is A, deposit it into a trust account. The broker must deposit the client's funds into a trust account to ensure they are kept separate from personal or business funds. What is the required frequency for reconciling a trust account according to GREC? Is it A, annually, B, quarterly, C, biannually, or D, monthly? The answer is D, monthly. Trust accounts must be reconciled monthly to ensure accuracy and compliance with GREC regulations. If a broker mistakenly deposits a client's funds into their business account, what is the first step they should take to rectify the situation? Is it A, notify the client and wait for instructions, B, transfer the funds to the trust account immediately, C, leave the funds in the business account and make a note, or D, report the error to GREC and wait for guidance? The answer is B, transfer the funds to the trust account immediately. The broker should immediately transfer the funds to the correct trust account to rectify the error and comply with regulations. Advertising rules, offers, and professional conduct. What must a real estate advertisement include to comply with Georgia's advertising rules? Is it A, the agent's personal contact number, B, the name of the brokerage firm, C, the listing price of the property, or D, the agent's license number? The answer is B, the name of the brokerage firm. Real estate advertisements in Georgia must include the name of the brokerage firm to ensure transparency and accountability. In Georgia, can a real estate agent advertise a property as sold before the transaction is finalized? Is it A, yes, as long as the contract is signed? B, yes, if the buyer's financing is approved? C, no, the transaction must be finalized? Or D, no, unless the seller agrees? The answer is C, no, the transaction must be finalized. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term sold implies the transaction is complete, which can mislead consumers if used prematurely. A real estate agent receives multiple offers on a property and decides to disclose the highest offer to other potential buyers. Is this practice allowed? Is it A, yes, it encourages competitive bidding? B, yes, if the offers are verbal? C, no, unless the buyers consent? Or D, no, unless the seller consents? The answer is D, no, unless the seller consents. Disclosing offer details without the seller's consent is unethical and violates confidentiality agreements. What is the primary purpose of the Code of Ethics in real estate practice? Is it A, to promote integrity and fairness? B, to increase sales and commissions? C, to provide legal protection for agents? Or D, to regulate advertising practices? The answer is A, to promote integrity and fairness. The Code of Ethics is designed to ensure that real estate professionals conduct business with integrity and fairness. An agent is asked by a client to advertise a property as luxury, despite it not meeting typical luxury standards. What should the agent do? Is it A, agree to the client's request to maintain the relationship? B, advertise as luxury, but include a disclaimer? C, refuse and explain the importance of truthful advertising? Or D, consult with the brokerage for guidance? The answer is C, refuse and explain the importance of truthful advertising. Misleading advertising is unethical and can damage the agent's reputation and legal standing. Specialty areas. In Georgia, what is the maximum amount a landlord can charge for a security deposit? Is it A, 1 month's rent? B, no maximum limit? C, 2 months' rent? Or D, 3 months' rent? The answer is B, no maximum limit. Georgia law does not specify a maximum amount for security deposits, allowing landlords to set their own limits. Under Georgia law, how many days does a landlord have to return a security deposit after a tenant moves out? Is it A, 10 days? B, 15 days? C, 30 days? Or D, 45 days? The answer is C, 30 days. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the law specifies 30 days, but many confuse it with shorter periods common in other states. A tenant in Georgia reports a broken heater in the middle of winter, and the landlord fails to repair it within a reasonable time. What legal action can the tenant take? Is it A, withhold rent until the repair is made? B, terminate the lease immediately? C, sue for emotional distress? Or D, pay for the repair and deduct from rent? The answer is A, withhold rent until the repair is made. The tenant can withhold rent until the repair is made, as heating is considered an essential service. What is the minimum notice period a landlord must give a tenant to terminate a month-to-month lease in Georgia? Is it A, 15 days? B, 30 days? C, 45 days? Or D, 60 days? The answer is D, 60 days. In Georgia, landlords must provide at least 60 days' notice to terminate a month-to-month lease. Commercial, industrial, and investment properties. What is the primary purpose of a triple net lease in commercial real estate? Is it A, to provide tenants with more flexibility in property use? B, to shift property expenses to the tenant? C, to ensure the landlord handles all maintenance issues? Or D, to allow for shorter lease terms? The answer is B, to shift property expenses to the tenant. A triple net lease requires the tenant to pay for property taxes, insurance, and maintenance, reducing the landlord's financial responsibilities. In a commercial real estate investment, what does the capitalization rate primarily indicate? Is it A, the total value of the property? B, the annual operating expenses? C, the rate of return on the property? Or D, the property's market appreciation potential? The answer is C, the rate of return on the property. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the capitalization rate is often confused with other financial metrics, but it specifically measures the return on investment based on the property's income. Sarah is considering purchasing an industrial property that currently has a long-term tenant. What should she consider regarding the lease agreement before making an offer? Is it A, review the lease terms for tenant obligations and income potential? B, check if the tenant has plans to vacate soon? C, determine if the property can be converted to residential use? Or D, assess the property's compliance with local zoning laws? The answer is A, review the lease terms for tenant obligations and income potential. Sarah should review the lease terms to understand tenant obligations and potential income, which affects the property's value. Which factor is least likely to directly affect the market value of the commercial property? Is it A, location and accessibility? B, current rental income? C, condition of the property? Or D, tenant satisfaction levels? The answer is D, tenant satisfaction levels. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, market value is influenced by various factors, but some, like tenant satisfaction, are indirect. Georgia-specific environmental and agricultural considerations. What is the primary agricultural product of Georgia that significantly contributes to its economy? Is it A, peaches? B, poultry? C, peanuts? Or D, cotton? The answer is B, poultry. Georgia is known as the peach state, but its primary agricultural product is actually poultry, which is a major contributor to the state's economy. A Georgia farmer is considering switching from cotton to a more water-efficient crop due to recent droughts. Which crop should they consider that aligns with Georgia's environmental considerations? Is it A, rice? B, soybeans? C, peanuts? Or D, corn? The answer is C, peanuts. Switching to peanuts can be beneficial as they require less water compared to cotton and are well suited to Georgia's climate.
Thanks for watching. If you found this exam review helpful, be sure to subscribe for more real-world practice and topic-focused study videos. And visit Birdsy.ai to start your free trial of Birdsy, your AI-powered study partner.